Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Dr. Contrast and the Dream Labs. It's great to be back on board, and I just thought I'd take a moment here today to go through a little bit of a review. We did this program, I think, about maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, but I wrapped up the program, but got an interesting call from the gang down at the university about maybe going into a marketing piece. So I thought I'd take a second here and just go through some of the processing of where we started and how we got the concept put together for the Buckeye formula team. We'll be competing sometime this summer, but I just want to go through a series of sketches here to show you the development, and then I'll show you at the end of the, before we end the stream today, I've got a composition piece that they asked me to do for marketing purposes. So I'll show you what that looks like, and I'll work on a little bit, and hopefully we'll get some good accomplishment here today on the whole process. So these are a series of really quick little marker studies, marker pastel studies, that I put together for the benefit of just making sure that we had enough content as far as the direction is concerned, and the body forms that they're working with, which we'll show you in some of the illustration work at the end here of the stream of what they're dealing with. So this is like a series of just real quick color studies. There's one, doing another pattern, 2, just trying to break up the shapes. A very small little machine. Didn't take an awful lot to maybe distort it, but I just want to keep it clean and simple. And they were more interested in looking for places where to put sponsorship and things of that nature. So I can understand the need for that, no question whatsoever. So another little study here is number 2. Into a third one, gets into more linear, almost for almost like a McLaren piece, so very linear, very hard edge, but again a lot of space for storage, or marketing and sponsorship, and around the front of the nose cone, etc. That's the third study we did. So these are first family of scapes were just elevation studies, and again, very linear, straightforward. Again, looking for a lot of area for sponsorship, which took place kind of nicely. And then also going this fourth study. This is the fifth study here. This is where it's starting to get a little interesting, a lot more dramatic. Went into a more of a really dramatic perspective study, looking at how to break these shapes up. So again, this is the fifth study they looked at, and I think this is the one I'm going to isolate for a moment here, just for what it's worth. This is sketch number 5. Went to number 6. Again, same variation on theme, looking at maybe some blocking, just a bit more on the busy side, but it got the job done as far as variation on theme is concerned. Oh, pardon me. So let it be told from there, a lot more spears, a lot more bracket, graphic black, white, red, breakup, etc. But then again, you look at this next one here, sketch number 7. Again, too much. This one I put together. I thought after it was all said and done, it's just too linear, too much of the same sequence. There's not enough graphic breakup in the actual form itself. So that we've laid down as sketch number 7. And I came back to sketch number 8. Another little simpler, cleaner variation, black up on top, a lot of space on the side of the pods, and also in the area here for sponsorship locations, and so that was sketch number 8 in the lineage of putting this all together. And this is sketch number 9, I believe. Nope, take this back. There we are. There's another one of those elevation studies that got snuck in there. This is almost very close to what we're after as far as the finished product is concerned. This is the elevation based off of this guy right here. So there's a little thinner in some areas, so we kind of beefed the graphics up a bit. Pardon me, 2 for 1 here, I think. We beefed up the graphics a little bit from that study to that study, and it got a little guttier with it, so that was interesting. So that was the elevation piece we put together. And then the last one we did was, let me just flip this guy over. Pardon me for a moment. There it is, and there it is. And then the last one was a perspective study. I think a lot healthier. I mean, look at the difference in the weights from this one, which was the original concept piece, the thinner variation on theme, to this guy, which often got a little guttier, a little heavier looking, so kind of neat to put it all together like that. So that was that beauty. That's number 5. And then the last thing I did was, I believe here, was just for purposes of fabrication, when they went together to put together maybe the wrap on this thing or how they're going to paint it, we didn't get a chance to see an awful lot of overhead on the actual sketch itself. What's going to happen up on top here? Does it wrap around on a radius, or does it come to a peak? So I thought I'd put together a little thumbnail sketch here for them to look at it from the point of view of when you're looking at a little perspective. Those spears come up over the top and form an arrow on top of the cowling area here, and this little white spot was for number designation for competition. But there's a plan view look at it and a little perspective study look at it. So that gives you a real quick overview about how we really kind of put together the process of these guys together, going through a whole back and forth, for example, a conversation with the team down there at the school. Great response from some of the sketches that we put together for them. But then we got all that said and done. So today's purpose is to take you from that development series, pardon me for a moment, that development series into now what we have here is the final marketing illustration. And I just started to put together some pieces for us here. That's what the actual composition is going to look like. And I'll work on this here just a little bit and just go through the process of working with you and show you how it all came together. So what they wanted to show was some of the fabrication of it all. Here's the actual body form itself up on the stanchions being built. So it's more of a collage of the original concept sketch, front elevation, side view profile, then a nice perspective study of the final paint scheme system. So I'm going to go ahead and start adding some color into this thing and add to ink through it. Hope we get it done today. If not, we'll wrap up some pieces with it and show you the final development hopefully sometime next week. So let's kind of get this guy started here with just a very simple little pass of, let's get this beauty up in space here. Go back here and we'll add some color to this. Pardon me if I rotate just a bit here. Bring this spear into play here. There's a main body color, basically red overhead. Just kind of put some little finesse detailing in here. Get that set up. Let's pick up the same in the side pot area here where the number variation is. There's a number designation. Let's blank in this a little bit here. Let's get some of the graphics in the helmet, put that together. And the actual headrest behind them. That's that. Into that. A little bit of this masking in the actual visor of the helmet. Takes care of that a little bit here. Now let's get the actual portion here where we've got that black into a white variation, and this goes into black here. Let's get that all squared away. Step it over that side pot area. So a little more impact in the color here, or a little deeper. That falls into place. And the last one we add here is a little bit of that charcoal up on the nose cone area. Let's put a bit of shadow underneath that strut where it falls into place here. Strut there, and a little strut here, and one more time here. Let's put a bit of a deeper burgundy on this body side panel here, just to give a little more impact to it. And we'll carry that reflection through. A little bit of that lighter gray I think we've got here. Just put me a number 2 gray, just to kind of slide that thing through, that reflection. And just for what it's worth, we'll put that, a little bit of that recess air intake right in place here. So that, for all intents and purposes, takes care of. Let's get this down here, pardon me. There's that light gray again. We'll just kind of put this into place. the helmet graphics. And number 5 gray again. Where am I here? Oh, there should be. Get this post in place here. The support strut. That's doing that. More shadow in this helmet itself. That's that. Come back in there, just a little bit more ground cover on this end, just a little more sweep in there. Just there you go. A little more believability on that guy. And while I've got it, let's do this too. Just a touch more underneath that. There we are. And the large canard plane behind us here. That's going to go in here and pick up on the whole idea of let me turn this just for a moment. Get it into place. Let's do this. Turn it upside down here, pardon me. Going all over the map here. Let's get this thing to work a little bit better for us. Keep it nice and clean and simple. That's that. And then, last but not least here, let's put a little bit of this, a little bit deeper shadow in the rims here. And we'll come back and detail that in just a few moments here. While we're at it, let's kind of go back to this front elevation, and we'll start putting some pieces together on that guy. And with the number 5 gray, we'll just kind of tint this in. And let's get this lower body piece put in place. Look at these canards set up here first. I can add some highlight when we're all said and done. That in, then we'll detail it with some dark shadow work. Set the graphics down first and detail it as we move into it a little bit further. Let me turn this over here just a bit. Get this far side piece put in. Now back to normal. This piece in place here. Let's block it in. Get this back into, there we go. There we are. Just a bit. Now let's really drop this guy out here where we know it's going to be the darkest. We'll come along with a little bit of a highlight break to kind of separate it. And let me move this over just a bit. And just for a little bit of extra spice here, we'll take this guy. That in his face here. Now, let's get these guys lined up here. All right, basically block that in. Now we can kind of fill in some of the nice, some of the red tint we need to get to. There we are. Let me turn this back up the square here. I'm very sorry about that. Moving this around to kind of keep it nice and clean, and then making sure we get the right combination of colors in the right place. All right, let's get that charcoal piece up on the nose cone put together here. Start blocking this beauty in. Take a number 6 here. I'm going to run that in there. That. Bring it up on top. That's that. Go into black. Pardon me for moving around here. Let's get this guy in place. Get another pencil here to see if I can get this thing to kind of darken in a little bit quicker for us. All right, let's see if that kind of helps our cause here. All right, start to come together a little bit for us. Let's get some of these shock towers put in place here. Now, last but not least, get some of that red upper in there. There we go. Now let's do a little bit of this. Get some contour in this thing. A little bit stronger. There it is. Put a little bit of tint on this too, so it kind of takes it away here. Light, be dark, and here. Let's get that helmet squared away here. Graphics in the helmet. To my number 6 gray. That back in. Now let's get this. Start to move into the tire structure. We got a pretty good start at it here. Well, first of all, I want to do this. A little bit of accent color under the end plate. Lots of tedious little parts here, gang, so thank you for bearing with me. Yeah, when this is all said and done, I'll come back in and do a little bit more rework of kind of fine-tuning some of the shadow work. that's that. A couple of strut pieces back in through here. Let's see what happens. We got a little bit of highlight around this corner here. Get this thing to work. All right, a little bit better here. We're getting there, coming along. Let's see. We get number 6 gray again into those tires. There we go, that's better. Let's tell us to work a little bit here. All right, so there we are so far with some of the pieces put in place. An interesting little set of circumstances here. Interesting how it all comes together here, gang, right? Hopefully. So let's move along here, get some of the bigger surfaces put in place, and we'll see if we can get this thing pretty well wrapped up here. I'm going to do a lot of finishing work as we go down the line here, so we'll be able to get to it here today possibly, but we're going to definitely take advantage of getting some of the larger surfaces, some of the bigger pieces put in place, so we can go from there. And let's see here. Let's get this red guy put in place here. All right, that's part of the red put in place. Let's get some of this interior stuff here. Number 5 gray. That's that. Coming together here, put a little bit of color in place. Let's get this black guy all lined up here. See what that looks like. Get that in place. Coming together little by little. All these pieces are kind of interesting. Let's see, number 5, number 6. Just going to get these guys in place.
No, it hasn't. But the Lombardo call back. He's pretty worried about it. The largest opportunities they've ever seen.
I'm going to let that sit for a little bit here and work out, maybe just kind of fine-tune it a little bit more. It's coming together graphically. It's just very interesting set of circumstances, how it all seems to come together here. I think I'm going to let that fly for a little bit here today, guys. Just going to run through just a bit of it here. That's a bit of a daunting lot of little bits and pieces. I'm going to take a lot of time here to make sure we kind of tighten it down a little bit, which I shall do here. And by the time we get together next week, hopefully we'll have it all wrapped up for you. I'm going to show you the final product and what we might have looked at and how to put it all together. Much appreciate you taking the time to be with me today. I'm going to stop it right there. I just want to let the thing settle a little bit. I'm not starting to know a little bit of scuffing in the actual application of the marker application and so forth. So I want to be very careful to not get that all contaminated here too much. So there it is. That's the actual beginning of the anthology. Kind of wrap up some of the detail work in here in all four views, and some of the background work I've got to put in place. A little bit of pastel wash as well. So I think I'll let that rest for a little bit, let that dry up just a touch, and then we'll come back in and wrap it up and hopefully show you the finished product next Wednesday on the stream. So there she is. Add more highlight detail work. Some very solid pencil study work inside here, put some more highlight into it, more sparkle to it, and kind of finish it off as a nice composition. So I want to thank you for the time joining me today. Hope that's been of some help to you. There it is, the final. I'll wrap this guy. It's getting a little bit saturated. I'll let it set down a little bit, and we can go from there. So thanks very much for the time today, gang. Much appreciated. We'll look forward to seeing you sometime next week, same time, same place. Put it all put together, and thank you so much. And if you have a moment, please take a moment and visit my website, drcontrast.com. Look at some material work that I'm doing there. You'll see my Instagram account, my all the YouTube material and so forth. All is on that site. And if I can be of any help to you, let me know. Drop me a note at jim@drcontrast.com, and I'll be glad to help you as best I can to get things done. And hopefully we'll see what takes place here the next week or so. But I'm going to let this set up a little bit here. I don't want to push it too far, and come back and we'll detail this guy up really nicely next week. So thanks so much, gang. Have a great week. And I'll finish this stream up with this little conversation, because it means an awful lot to me, and I mean it sincerely. Never forget to dare to remember, to dare to be great, because you are. Thanks very much, gang. Take care and have a good one. Thank you. Bye-bye. We'll see you next week.